What's up YouTube? Shout out Natto. Welcome back to another flow-in video in the CR500 Giveaway Build series. For those of you who are new, a couple months ago I picked up a 1993 CR500 off Facebook Marketplace and completely tore it down with plans to fully restore it and yes, give it away to one of you guys. If you're wondering, who's this guy? Why should I listen to him? Well, if you haven't seen my KX250 restoration, you better go check that out and come back to this video. The condition of this bike speaks for itself, and I hope to do the same thing with this 93 CR500 going for a resto mod build. So far, we've completely torn down the 500, and in the last video, we tore apart the engine. Right here, we got the right side engine case. Overall, it's in pretty good condition. All the bearings spin freely, and there's only minor surface rust on some of the bearings. So the frame is currently with Quinnovations, a local fabrication shop out here in Connecticut, getting some custom repairs done. We should have that back this week. And I'm also going to take the cylinder to a dirt bike rebuild and machine shop named X-Pro out here in Connecticut to have the experts check out the condition of the cylinder bore. Due to the many years of wear, we might need to bore it up one size, fit in a fresh piston. These old CR500s have a steel sleeve in them. It's typical to bore them over slightly just to fit a fresh piston kit in there and have this thing run like a top. So right here in front of me, I have the suspension, the swing arm, and the exhaust that all need to be restored. But it's always fun to start off with something cool to give you guys a little taste of what this bike's gonna look like. So in this video, I plan to restore this vintage FMF gnarly exhaust pipe. For how old this thing probably is, it's in really good condition. We got lucky on this one here, guys. There are absolutely no dings in this thing, and that is pretty unbelievable considering the condition of the frame. The guy must have busted the old exhaust pipe and got this brand new one. So I'm guessing this isn't the first FMF that's been on that bike, but I'm glad this one was the last one. So to bring this pipe back to brand new, we're gonna break out the trusty buffer and PRYME cleaning wheels to shine this thing up. But first things first, she needs a good bath, so let's throw this thing in the parts washer.
The first step I always take when restoring any component on a bike is getting it clean. This Harbor Freight parts washer comes in clutch for an at-home garage that doesn't have a shop sink. I keep mine filled with a metal-safe degreaser, and I dropped in a Farm Innovators heater to keep the fluid warm and make cleaning way easier. With a few brushes and some Scotch-Brite pads, knocking years of grime off parts like this is pretty straightforward. When the fluid gets dirty, I just swap it out and keep moving. All in, you can get this build set up for under 200 bucks, which is perfect for a budget garage shop. I'll leave links to everything I'm using down in the description. After a good scrub on both the pipe and the silencer, the exhaust is clean, prepped, and ready to move on to restoration.
So now that we got this pipe washed up, it's time to start polishing. We're going to be using the PRYME cleaning wheels. If you haven't seen PRYME, go check them out. Not sponsored, but such a great company, and rest in peace to Cam Niemela, founder of PRYME. He developed these two cleaning wheels that we're going to be using for this pipe. We got one an abrasive cleaning wheel that we're going to do a light brush on the pipe just to remove those thick rust spots, and then we're going to be finishing it off with the fine cleaning wheel. This one is going to bring out that shiny brush look. Now this is a nickel plated pipe, so you got to be careful not to push down too hard with the aggressive cleaning wheel or it will strip the nickel plating right from the pipe. A lot of times you can remove the nickel plating and bring the pipe down to raw steel, but that requires a lot of upkeep and maintenance to prevent it from rusting. So we're going to be keeping the nickel plating on this pipe, and overall it's not worn through pretty bad, so we should be able to just shine this thing up and bring it back to life. You can go for a brushed look, you can go for a polished look. I personally like the brush look because it looks the most factory, so that's basically just finishing it off with the fine cleaning wheel and brushing it out smoothly and evenly along the length of the pipe, and we should be able to bring it back to that factory shine. So let's get to polishing. How we looking, fellas?
Let 'em do it again. Yeah. Hey, said you were my friend.
As you guys can see here, I ended up pretty much going straight to the fine PRYME cleaning wheel. This pipe only had some surface rust, and since it's still got its original nickel plating, you have to be careful with the rough wheel. That thing can tear through the plating pretty quickly if you're not paying attention. I like to polish these pipes using a simple 3-step process. On the first pass, the main goal is removing any remaining rust. I usually start on the bench buffer for the larger areas, then move over to the Dremel to get into the tighter spots. On the second pass, it's all about establishing a uniform brush pattern pattern. I'll start at one end of the pipe and work my way to the other, focusing on one section at a time and brushing along the length of the pipe. This step basically sets the base for the final finish. On the third and final pass, I'll do the same thing, starting at one end and working across the pipe, but this time I'm really focused on consistency. Long, even brush strokes make a huge difference here. You can spend a good amount of time on this step, just be careful not to brush through the plating. The more time you spend dialing in that uniform look, the better the final finish is going to be.
I'll let the trophy speak for itself here for a second. Look at this beautiful FMF gnarly. What do you guys think? How's she looking? One last step you can do, this is optional. If your brushes aren't uniform in some areas, it's nice to brush it out by hand, kind of mesh the different brush marks together. I personally like the finish the bench buffer leaves on the pipe. I think it looks super trick. So let's set this thing aside for now and let's get to working on this FMF PowerCore 2 silencer. I just wanted to give you guys one more look here now that I got it set down inside. I mean, that thing is looking fresh. We are lucky enough to have this beautiful FMF PowerCore 2. This thing is in really good condition, but she is due for a refresh, so we are going to give her the old Flow 1 Special. I'm going to start by removing the stickers. Got my dad's old Pro 1200 hair dryer. He keeps this in his workshop, but I think this thing is straight up from the 80s. Next step, remove this hardware. Now there isn't really a great way to get the can off here, so I like to put it in a vise with a rag obviously to protect everything. And then you just kind of hammer it off with a rubber mallet. Wow, that's honestly pretty good. The inside's pretty dirty, but still yellow here. Well, here you can see what it looks like on the inside. It was definitely due for a refresh.
The silencer restoration follows a similar process to the pipe. After pulling it apart, I started by cleaning up the baffle. Using the PRYME wheels and the bench buffer, I ran it through the same 3-step process as before. The goal here is just taking your time and letting the wheel do the work. Overall, the silencer really wasn't in bad shape. It looks like it had been sitting for years without much use, but the finish was definitely dull. After about an hour on the buffer, it started coming back to life, and honestly, it ended up looking better than new. On the final pass, I focused on slow, even brush strokes to bring out a uniform shine. This step is really important. If you rush it, it shows. Taking your time here is what gives the silencer that clean factory finish.
Alright guys, so we got the silencer all shined up. This thing is looking cherry. But now we are on to the last part of the exhaust restoration, and that is repacking. I actually went ahead and saved the old packing. Sometimes you can do this, sometimes you can't, but it does make it a little bit easier when you measure out some fresh packing. So I actually picked up some silencer packing from Tusk. This stuff is really good, and it's the cheapest one that you can buy. Tusk, sponsor me if you're watching. But let's get into the packing and we'll wrap this thing up. All we're gonna have to do is measure out exactly the dimensions we need, and we can cut out this Tusk packing. This square is about the same size as our old packing, and it's quite a bit thicker, so we're gonna have plenty of room. So typically you would start off by making cuts to the packing, but as I said, we're not going to be making any cuts. So the next part is to wrap up this baffle as tightly as you can with the packing, and then we're going to tape it together so it holds form.
Don't you think you want to sleep?
So when you get it all the way wrapped up here, you can take your painter's tape, and we're gonna wrap this thing up 3 times so it stays nice and tight. I've used this stuff before in silencers and it seems to work pretty good. Doesn't burn up or anything, so. Just like this.
One of the last steps here is installing the little screws. Since this is a 500, we're gonna put a little dab of Honda lock. Alright, so we got the pipe all put together. This thing's starting to look really good. Honestly, it looks better than new. So I'm gonna give it one final pass on the bench buffer. We'll slap some fresh stickers on it, and I'll show you guys what this exhaust is looking like.
Freshy, boys.
Got a little bit of aluminum dust on it, so we can just clean it off with some isopropyl alcohol. To install stickers, it's again nice to have a warm surface. So we're going to break out the Pro 1200 once again, and we'll get this heated up. Start in the center and work your way out. Work the air bubbles out. And now one more time with the warm air. And just like that, you got yourself a better than new FMF Power Core 2. It kind of rhymes. So the actual final piece for this exhaust are the O-rings. I got these in the package from FMF, so we're going to slap those in and give you guys a full view of the exhaust. So I might wait to install this one because I think this one goes in here and we don't want to lose it. Alright guys, it's Saturday night. We're watching some Supercross. But we do have to draw the winner from the last video. We're giving away the valve stem caps, the jet tag, and the stickers. So I got everybody's names written down who entered here. Got the random number generator. 33 of you guys put your names down. So let's generate who wins. Number 4. Number 4 is Andrew Bedreau, 79 from Massachusetts. Thank you for entering, Andrew. I've seen a lot of your comments on the channel. I appreciate that. Send me an email at flow1shop@gmail.com with your address, and I'm going to send this out to you. So thanks for entering, everyone. So in the first video, we gave away the Klotz oil. Second video, we gave away some Flow 1 gear. In this video, we're upping the stakes. We're combining the two. We're giving away some Klotz oil, a Flow 1 hat, and 3 stickers. Now this hat is really nice. We just had these done up. They're 100% polyester, and it's kind of like a sport-like feel. If you like to golf, perfect for things like that, or just, you know, wearing it at the track. Klotz oil, always been great stuff. I always stand by their 2-stroke oil. It's trusty and smells really good. This is a good one, guys. So since we're watching Supercross tonight, I thought, you know, for this video, you gotta comment your favorite rider. It doesn't matter 450 or 250 class. I just wanna know what your guys' favorite pro rider is. I personally like Tomac for the 450s. I mean, guy's a legend. 250s, you know, Hayden Deegan, even though he's controversial, kid's a nasty rider. He's about to be a 450 rider, but he's still probably my favorite 250 rider. So comment your favorite rider. You're gonna get entered to win all this stuff here. We'll draw the winner in the next video. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this Flow 1 video. The exhaust turned out absolutely insane, and it's going to look so sick on the bike. Sorry I can't upload more frequently. I work a full-time job, and we got a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes, but I do have something in the works for Flow 1. I can't quite tell you guys yet, but it's pretty special. In the next video, I plan to go at the engine cases and maybe get some other components apart. We had an absolutely beautiful, warm January day out here in New England the other week, so the boys and I actually went out and did some riding. We got some cliffs. I'm going to end the video with that, and let me know
know if you guys want to see some more riding content. We'll see if we can work some in between the build videos. We got an absolutely sick crew of riders out here, so I'd love to showcase that if you guys want to see it. If you're interested to enter into the CR500 giveaway, it is currently open. You can check it out on flow1.shop. I mean, who knows? You could get yourself a hat or a hoodie and you could be walking away with a CR500. Somebody's going to win this thing and it's going to be absolutely spectacular. So I wouldn't want to miss that. But again, thank you guys for all the support. Like and subscribe if you're new, and we'll catch you guys in the next one.